So we're going to record this and then I will post these videos. So we have the problem for W9, and I'm going to get as much as I can done. And it is 2 parentheses b minus 6 equals 8. So I have to multiply 2 into everything. So I get 2v minus 2 times 6 is 12 equals 8. Draw my fence. And then I'm going to do the opposite of a negative 12, which is to add 12. So I'm adding it to both sides of my fence, and I'll get 2v equals 12 plus 8 is 20, and then divide my 2 away. So v is 10. You could, if you wanted to, take pictures, hold on, of the work before I make this screen go away so that you have it for yourself as well. All right. If you have an issue, unmute yourself and then let me know, and we will pause and look at what your question is. All right, so for this one, I have t plus 1 over 3 equals negative 2. So for this, and I don't like that they use t because it looks like a plus sign, but we'll just have to remember it's a t. So how do I get a divide by 3 out? I multiply it. So I multiply one side of the fence by it and it goes away. The other side, I get a negative 6. I bring down my t plus 1, and now I'm going to get rid of 1 and subtract both sides, which is like adding the opposite. So t is now by itself, and same sides, add and keep, different sides subtract, same sides, I add it. So 6 and 1 is 7, and then I keep the negative sign. So it is a negative 7. Again, if you want the work, it's here to take a picture. I will have this video uploaded hopefully at the end of the hour or day. All right, next we have y plus 5.06 over 3 equals negative 0.61. So how do I get rid of the 3 at the bottom? I multiply it away. Draw my fence. So it goes away and multiply over here. When you come to these problems, one might need to work out the problems to know the correct answer. If you have a calculator handy, I would recommend. So 3 times 0.61 is, but I have a negative, so my answer will be negative 15.83. Then I have bringing down y plus 5.06. Now I need to get rid of so that the y is alone. So opposite is to subtract 5.06. I'm going to line these up though so I can do it. It's like adding the opposite, same sides, add and keep. So keep it and then add it. So 3 and 6 make 9. Bring down the 8. 5 and 5 is 10. Carry and makes 2. So I'm nervous. We will into the y. It was a negative 20.89. That's what I thought. Going up to here. Where did I go wrong? My multiplication was wrong, so I must not have cleared out my calculator. Okay, remember, take a screenshot of that. Remember that one for next time. Oops, there we go. Okay, continuing. We have 3 times s plus 7 minus a negative 4 equals 10. So in this, I have this 3, and I'm going to multiply it to everything on the parentheses. Hayden, can you let the dog out? Please. All right, so we have 3 times s is 3s. I'm going to make it a better s plus 21 minus a -4 equals 10. So draw my fence. And then I can add or combine the 21 and the 4 by adding the opposite. So 21 and 4 is 25. And I'm going to move the 25 over by subtracting. And I'm going to get a -15 and bring over the 3s. Divide by 3, divide by 3. S equals a -5. So you can take a screenshot. Oops. All right, we have a -8g equals -9g minus 10. I'm going to draw my fence. So this time, instead of moving a number, I'm moving a number with the letters. So since g is over here by itself, I'm going to move this one. I'm going to move. So opposite of negative is to add. And so since I have a negative and a positive, I will subtract them. I get 1g. The bigger number is positive, so my answer is, and I move and bring down what I haven't used. Now, g and 1g are the same thing, but to show you it out, I can divide by 1 to get g without the number, and anything over 1 is itself. So there you go. It is -10. All right, next one. We have 2.3q plus 6 minus -0.76 equals 9.96. My calculator. Okay, so for this one, we're going to take the 2.3 and multiply it over, and we get 2.3q plus 2.3 times 6 is 13.8. And I bring down everything. Whoops. I had that as an equal, but it's adding the opposite. So we'll add 0.76 equals 9.96. And so I can combine these two numbers right here, 13.8 plus 0.76 is 14.56. So I'll bring everything back down. I'm going to draw my fence, and then opposite is to subtract it. So it goes away on that side. They're both positive numbers, so I'm going to subtract them. And we'll move that over here. I do get 4.6 because the minus went with the 14. It is a negative. And then bring down the 2.3q. Divide by 2.3, divide by 2.3. A negative divided by a positive is a negative, and you get 2, so it's a -2. Okay. Next we have -5g, or j, excuse me, minus 8 equals -4 minus 6j. So I have letters on both sides. It is always her recommendation that you move the number that is smaller. So because they're both negatives though, move the number that's larger. So I'm going to do the opposite and add 6j away and add 6j away. So here's my fence. When I add 6 to a -5, I end up with 1j. minus 8 equals negative 4. I'm going to do the opposite to the 8 by adding it. And I get 1j equals negative 4 plus 8 is a 4. I can divide the 1 away so that j is alone by just 4. All right, so I have 9 minus 3f equals negative f plus 1. So f is on both sides, numbers are on both sides. So I'm going to take the smaller. F doesn't have a number in front of it, but it is the number 1. So I'm going to add the opposite and bring it over. No. I'm going to add the 3. So add 3f, add 3f. And when I do that, I have 9 left on this side. And negative 1 plus 3 is a positive 2f. And then plus 1 is left. Now I need to get rid of the 1. So I need to subtract 1 and then subtract 1. 1 second. Sorry, I had to move away. Okay, so I have 9 minus 1 is 8. And then equals 2f, divide away 2. And f equals 4. All right, next one. We have 2.23 times w. Oh, go away. Get down. Plus 1 minus 2.06 equals 6.86. All right, so going into here, we have to multiply the 2.21 to everything in the parentheses. Yeah, no saving. So we're going to go to, okay, 2.23, oopsies, 3w, and then plus 2.23, because 2.23 times 1 is itself, minus 2.06 equals 6.86. Draw my expense. All right, so combining what I can. I have to look at this right here first. I can combine it before I move it and then move it at the same time. So 2.23 minus 2.06 is 0.17. And then I'll minus it away. Minus it over here. And I get 2.23w on this side, and then take away, I borrow, is 9, 6, bring down the 6, and then divide away, we get w is, so 6.69 divided by 2.23 is 3. All right, so this one's SMART score seems to go so slow. If you guys give me thumbs up, I can continue this one, or I can move to the W10. Anyone want to tell me to go to W10?
W10.
Awesome. Thank you, Devin. So I'm gonna go to, oops, my W. So when I said earlier about working on some of the iXL, wouldn't it be better to even get to 65 as a SMART score instead of not doing it at all and taking a break and going to a different one? Yes, it would. All right, so now we have starting off with easier problems because we're starting off fresh at a SMART score 0 in W10. So in here we have 15z plus 5z equals 20. I do this every time I write 2's, and then I'm like, oh, it looks like a Z, so we'll do it like that. Okay, so on this side of the fence, I have 2 Z's. I can combine them. 15 plus 5 is 20. So bring down the Z with it, and then equals 20. Divide the 20 away, divide the 20 away. Z equals, no matter what, when a number is on top of itself, it is always 1. So my answer is 1. Whoops, 1. All right, I have 2a minus a equals 11. When a letter is by itself, it has a 1 in front of it. On that side, I have 2 a's, so I can combine them. 2 minus 1 is 1a. Bring down the other side, divide 1 away. Anything over 1 is itself. So it is 11. I knew it was going to do that because I did an I, and because I didn't have that. We were right. Oops. Okay, so, oops, 6v minus 2v equals 20. All right, draw my fence. Combine 6v minus 2v. 6 minus 2 is 4v. Bring down what I haven't done yet. Divide 4 away. And what times 4 equals 20? Yes, you're right. It is 5. Okay. So plugging that in. All right, we have 2n minus n equals 7. Draw my fence, combine my n's. I have a 1 in front of that n, so 2 take away 1 is 1n, which equals 7. I can do this step. I don't need to, but n equals 7. All right, we have 3k minus k equals 4. So in front of that k by itself is a 1, and 3 minus 1 is 2k. Bring down the 4, divide by 2, k equals 2. Right, 9j minus 4j minus 3j equals 8. Draw my fence. All right, combining 9 minus 4 is 5j. And then 5 minus 3 is 2j. Divide away. J equals 4. Whoops, I do that sometimes too. All right, next we have 17d minus 20d plus 5d minus 16d equals negative 14. Draw my fence. All right, left to right. 17 take away 20 is a negative 3d. And then combining negative 3 to 5, I get 2d. And then combining 2 and a negative 16 is like adding the opposite. So you subtract, you get 14. 16 is the bigger number, so it's negative. D equals negative 14. Divide by negative 14. Same on top, same on the bottom. Answer is 1. Not a 1, not an I. Okay. I can continue with this one, which is a little bit easier than the one we were doing prior, or I can switch.
What do we do for science? Because I need to put that in my planner. I forgot to put that.
Oh, science, you were doing STEM scope, the literacy. There's a reading passage in STEM scopes.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. All right. 6n plus negative 4n plus 17n equals 12. All right. So I'm going to add the opposite here because they'll cross each other out. So negative 6 plus 6 is 0. So those go away. Then I have negative 4n and 17n. And I would subtract since they're different signs and get 13n. Oh, I forgot. I'm like, ooh, that they would never do that. I forgot something in the problem. I forgot this right here. There. So these two combine to get 13n, then minus 17n, and you would add the opposite. So you're going to subtract them and get 4. Bigger number is a negative, and then bring down the 12, divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4, n is negative 3. All right, if there are no objections for this one, I'll go ahead and look at W11 since we're close on time. I just want to make sure everyone can get something on this one done. I can, my dog is being very needy right now. Skip to a higher one. We'll go one more step higher, just so that we can look at this one. So this time the only difference is that letters are on one side, but so are numbers. So we have g minus g plus 5g minus 4g plus 1 is 15. So I want the numbers to be on one side, and 1 is like 15. So opposite would be to subtract it, and I get 14. Now I can go back and this is now gone. Now I can go back and work on my g's. So g minus g is canceling. Well, 1 minus 1 is nothing, right? So I have nothing. Then 5g minus 4g is 1g. And that's all that's left. 1g equals 14. All right, so I'm going to look at W11. Okay, so for this one, again, similar, but now the letter's on the other side and you have to move it over. So for this one, we have negative 9u equals negative 8u plus 8. And draw my fence. Now I'm moving the u, not the number. So opposite is to add it. And I get a negative 1u equals 8. Divide away the negative 1 because you don't want the letter to be a negative. And you get a negative 8. All right, we have 5 plus 2j equals j. So opposite would be to subtract the j. And I get 1 take away 2 is a negative 1. And then divide away the negative 1. And you get negative 5 equals j. All right, next we have 10 plus 7t equals 9t minus 8. So we have to wait. I'm almost done. So we want to move the t. This rule would be to say, hey, look at the numbers. I would move the smaller one. So 7 is smaller than 9. So opposite is to subtract. And I get 2t minus 8 equals 10. Opposite is to add the 8. 18 equals 2t. Divide away. And t equals 9. What time is it? Let me skip. I'll go to, whoopsies. I'll go to a harder problem example. Okay, so when we get to here, oh, we have decimals. That makes life harder. So I'm going to copy the problem over. Honest to goodness, you probably more than likely cannot do these problems in your head. You need to work them out on paper or on your screen like I am doing when you use the app. All right, so I'm going to combine on this side of the equal sign over here. I'm going to combine the numbers that I see. So I have 9.4 and I also have 6.35. And when I combine them, I now have 15.75 plus 9.4q equals 3.2q minus 9.05. All right, now when I look at the q's, I'm going to make this side have the q's. So that means I'm going to move and subtract 15.75. And when I have adding the opposite, I'm adding 15.75 and 9.05, and it'll be a negative 24.8, and then still the 3.2q. I'm going to opposite by subtracting it away. I'll bring this down first. Subtract 3.2q, so it goes away, and then subtract 3.2q. I get 6.2 equals negative 24.8. Divide that away. And q by itself is going to be negative, since there's one negative, one positive, a negative 4. All right, these ones are harder because they take more time. So it's not necessarily that they're harder, they're just that they take a long time, so it will feel like forever. All right, I'm gonna stop the share. Go back to my video here. Okay, sorry, I scooted back. So is there anyone who has a question on the 9, 10, or 11?
When are they due?
So they're due tomorrow night at 11:59. So you'll still have tonight and then tomorrow. Tomorrow for math class though, I can tell you, hold on. Oops, my camera. Is that your fault, Ethan? In your planner, I can see if I look really close. Hold on. Oh, you have more class time to work on iXLs, and then roughly a third or 2/3 of the class you'll be doing a quizzes to study for Thursday's quiz. So these iXLs are essentially practice for your test on Thursday. So they are helpful. It's the practice that you're getting, the work that you're getting, and then she'll have similar problems in a quizzes. If you would like to join me during your math time in the same Zoom link, like using Strategy Zoom link, but during math class, I will have it open and then you can come and we'll work on those problems as well. Okay, so your goal is no missing. So do some of